Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Corn Belt. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. So we look at temperatures across the region right now, cooler in the west and warmer in the east. 40s and 50s across the high plains, 60s and 70s as we look across the central and eastern Corn Belt all the way down toward the Gulf Coast. The reason for that is a kind of a stubborn cutoff low across the southern U.S. right now, tapping into the Gulf of Mexico, drawing lots of warm and humid air northward again across the central and eastern U.S. We've got some thunderstorm activity flaring up on the leading edge of that. Again, a cluster of showers and storms last night across parts of Missouri. Had a couple strong storms across central Illinois during the overnight, and then even as we wake up this morning, all kinds of shower and storm activity right now across south and east Texas. We can see that evident here when we look at the radar picture here early on Tuesday morning. Again, a surface low developing here across the southern and central plains, slowly lifting off to the north and to the east today, and that's going to lead to a severe weather threat across parts of the Midwest. Highest across Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. The chance for a couple supercell thunderstorms in this area. We've got that warm and humid air mass are going to be very destabilized, very unstable by the afternoon and evening, and just enough wind shear there, enough upper level support from that surface low and the wave associated with it to get enough rotation, or enough wind shear, to get a couple of those storms rotating. So again, some large hail, maybe some gusty winds, and perhaps even a couple of tornadoes within this corridor, kind of from Des Moines up toward Minneapolis, and then the La Crosse, Wisconsin area as we head through the later part of the day. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the high-resolution NAM model is putting forth. And again, as we just get started here this morning, we've already got showers and storms across the central U.S. Let's go ahead and bring it back to this afternoon and evening, where we expect to see those showers and storms most numerous as the afternoon hours go on. So heading into the mid-morning, most of that shower and storm activity should really begin to wane. And then as we head into the early afternoon, again, we become very unstable. Again, across this corridor especially, this is our region where we're most anticipating severe storms as we head through the day. I'll take the drawing off, and you can see those popping up again, kind of in an arc from Omaha toward Des Moines over toward Kirksville, Missouri. Again, this is where we think maybe some of those storms produce a few tornadoes, some large hail, and some gusty winds in the most organized fashion. Those will begin lifting from southwest to northeast as we head through the evening. This will be about 8 o'clock this evening. Again, here's that little arc of potentially strong storms now from southern Minnesota into eastern Iowa, potentially lifting into western and central Wisconsin as we head through the early overnight hours. Elsewhere, you're seeing just a big region here riding that Gulf of Mexico moisture plume with scattered showers and storms developing, again, just in uneven, splotchy, disorganized fashion. Real low risk of any strong storms potentially briefly becoming severe, but not talking about the more organized severe weather threat that we're expected to see off to the north as we head through the afternoon and evening hours today. So we'll take the drawing off the map here, heading through the overnight and then into the day on Tuesday, expecting a very similar picture. No real pronounced severe weather threat emerging for the afternoon on Wednesday, but we're just going to see the same thing. This cutoff low across the south. You can see the clockwise or the counterclockwise flow around that. Just a huge area. Expected to see those scattered showers and storms across the Corn Belt down into the Gulf Coast as we head through Wednesday afternoon and evening. And now you're starting to see a frontal boundary making its way into the picture here as we get toward the end of the week. And finally, as we get to Friday, that'll bring things to an end. But if I just go ahead and go back to the beginning of this and then hit play so you can really see the flow of the atmosphere, you can see it really is all revolving around this area of low pressure, this cutoff low slowly making its way across the region. Let's just hit play on it once again, and it's going to be until we get to Friday and Saturday before this thing gets picked up by the upper level jet stream and swung out of here. So total accumulated precipitation over the next 3 days, taking it on into Thursday afternoon. Again, a huge area of the central U.S. From the northern plains, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, the Great Lakes, south then through the central and eastern Corn Belt, and really you see a big area getting these rains, these showers and storms, but disorganized fashion, splotchy precipitation forecast here. So a really uneven precipitation distribution, I guess, is the simple term that I'm looking for over the next couple of days across a wide range geographically. We are going to watch our air mass begin to shift, though. This is our Thunderstorm Index, again, rating the volatility of the environment across the region here and how supportive it is of strong thunderstorms. And as we head into the afternoon today, we'll take it to 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock this evening. Again, this is the region we'll be watching for the potential for some strong storms this afternoon and evening. As I just take it into Wednesday now, Here's Thursday, watching the same regions flare up, and now we're getting into Friday, and this front is starting to push through. It's taking the warm and humid air mass and kicking it off to the south and to the east, and that's going to kind of reset things. It'll be a bit cooler, much drier before we head towards a warmer and drier pattern into next week, but you really see the change here. We're not talking about those daily volatile environments here for those thunderstorms to erupt each afternoon and evening. If I just hit play, you can see the transition. Here is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're into Sunday and Monday and Tuesday of next week. We'll have to watch midweek for the chance for strong storms off to the north, but across a big chunk of the Corn Belt, this finally shuts down the daily chance for showers and storms. So what's happening behind the scenes? Well, as we look at the jet stream here, 500 millibar height anomalies, here is the culprit right now. That area of low pressure just kind of stuck across the south central U.S., keeping things very warm, keeping things very humid and wet with those afternoon showers and storms popping up each and every day. Well, this will finally lift out of here as we get into the end of the week, and then our pattern becomes something like this. And you know, if you've watched these videos for a while, if you've been paying attention for however long, you know this pattern well. This is a ridge across the central U.S. This is a pattern that allows a lot of warmth to build up across the central U.S. It's also a pattern that's going to take those chances for showers and storms and deflect them well off to the north across the Canadian prairie as we head into the first week of June. So again, taking a look at the 500 or the 300 millibar jet stream winds. Again, here's our area of low pressure off to the south. I know I'm just kind of a broken record with that. And then here's the stronger jet stream winds well off to the north. So the reason this thing is not moving well, it's not being picked up by the jet stream winds here. It's just left to kind of spin itself away. As we hit play, you'll see it get picked up by the jet stream here as we get into Thursday and Friday, and that's what allows the pattern to finally change here, leading to that ridge across the middle part of the country. A look at the precipitation forecast then associated with all this. We'll bring it back to today. Here's Tuesday. Again, we've talked about that chance for showers and storms, maybe some strong storms across this region this afternoon and evening. As we head into the day tomorrow, rinse and repeat, showers and storms flaring up across Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, into Kentucky and Tennessee. We'll take it into Thursday, rinse and repeat, showers and storms popping up. Same place, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee, even across Kansas. And then as we head into Friday, finally, that frontal boundary begins to push into the region. Showers and storms still Friday afternoon across the eastern Corn Belt, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, parts of Kentucky, and Tennessee. And then finally, as we get into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, drying out across the Corn Belt, warming up as we head into the early part of next week. So the next 5 days of precipitation, again, we've talked about the corridor well. It's this one here. Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, parts of southeastern Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, even down into the mid-south, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, and Ohio. The chance to see an inch or two of precipitation. Some areas could see locally higher amounts where you get those thunderstorms that just pop up and sit there for an hour or two, tapping into that Gulf tropical moisture. So it is possible, some select areas here picking up 2, 3, maybe 4 inches of rain with some of that flash flood risk in local areas, but again, just a big region seeing that afternoon and evening chance, a very summer-like pattern. Hard to predict where they're going to pick up or where they're going to erupt and where exactly they're going to track, but we got this kind of south to north flow riding that tropical air mass northward. All right, so on the left we've got week 1, precipitation on the top, and then temps on the bottom left. And then over here, there's week 1, and then we've got week 2. You can see the transition. Over the next 5 days, I apologize too, this is not week 1, week 2. Let's go ahead and we're going to call it the next 5 days right here, and then stays 6 through 10 up the top left. Sorry about that. We see the pattern though. This is what I've been really spending my time focused on here over the course of this video. The precipitation into the weekend, again, highest across the central and eastern Corn Belt, right across the midsection of the country. And then as that frontal boundary swings through over the 6 to 10 day time frame, so this takes us into the first 5 days of June, very dry across the midsection of the country. The place where we could see a few showers and storms sneaking through is going to be up and over the top of that ridge here through the northern plains into the Great Lakes, where a few areas could get pretty close to their 5-day average there, but really looking at a drier, and if you look at the temperature pattern here, warmer 6 to 10 day time frame across the Corn Belt. You can see the temperatures evolve here over the next several days. Your highs for the day today in the 80s to near 90s across the Great Lakes and the eastern Corn Belt. Cooler across the central and southern U.S. where we have much more in the way of cloud cover and precipitation. Your highs for the day on Wednesday, and as we get into the mid to late part of the week, Thursday, Friday, you're seeing that front sweep through, dropping temperatures back down into the 60s and 70s across the central U.S. But here's the ridge, the big warm-up beginning to develop across the western U.S., and that is going to shift off to the east as we head into the weekend and early next week. So here is Saturday. Let's take it all the way to Sunday. And then that's the last one we got. But you can see if I go quickly through this, the evolution here, that ridge and the warmth associated with it quickly making its way into the Corn Belt. And it will establish itself here as we head into the period here, June 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, looking at a drier and very summer-like, very warm pattern across the central U.S.